Objection! Hello everybody, Zachman18 here. Welcome back to the WTZM TV channel 18 Superstation. It is time to continue on with our playthrough of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies DLC episode, Turnabout Reclaimed. We are defending an orca whale named, crap, what's her name? I can't remember her name. I feel really stupid. Alright, so, this is a really interesting case so far. I wasn't expecting it to be like this. Let me look back at my video here. Orla, that's her name. Alright, we're defending Orla, the orca whale accused of killing the captain of this swashbuckler spectacular thing. So, let's get right to the court day. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning. Chipper as ever this morning, I see. I'm just thankful we actually get to have a trial for Orla. As a matter of fact, I just ran a few laps around the courthouse to get extra pumped. And I just splashed my face with some water to get the sleep out of my eyes. Oh, I also queued the swashbuckler video so we can watch it anytime. Ooh. Thanks, it just might help our case. By the way, you have some serious dark circles. Did you stay up late watching this? What? Me? No, I just woke up early, that's all. Guess I need to cover them up. I got ragged on enough as it is by Prosecutor Blackwell. Speaking of being pumped, I'm pretty fired up for this trial too. It's been a while. That explains why your hair is spikier than usual. I mean, look at it. It's all super pokey and prickly and stuff. It's amazing. That was a compliment? It was a compliment, right? Good luck, Mr. Nick. I'll be cheering you on from the gallery. Thanks, Pearls. It's been so long, I'm actually a little nervous. Good morning, Mr. Lawyer. This guy. Oh, Mr. Rhymes, you came to watch the trial. Yeah, Sasha's back in the aquarium with the orca, so I thought I'd better come here to watch for her. Well, don't you worry, we're going to win for Orla. Isn't that right, boss? Right. One unprecedented trial coming right up. That's for sure. Alright, here we go. Day 1. Court is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session for the trial of Ora Shipley. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Must we waste words on this? Prosecutor Simon Blackwell. Known as the Twisted Samurai, he's a prosecutor who's also a convicted felon. They say he never conducts a trial without his loyal hawk Taka by his side. Mr. Wright, it's been quite a while since I've seen you like that. The lawyer image suits you. You look younger somehow. Thank you, Your Honor, and you look as young as ever yourself. Ha ha ha. Well, I have to keep up with you folks after all. By the way, has the defendant arrived in court yet? Surely you jest your baldness. Did you not receive the memo? The defendant, Ora Shipley, is an orca at ship-shape aquarium. An orca, huh? Arrangements for this trial were made only yesterday, so I didn't have time to review. But an orca as defendant, it's patently absurd. Oh, yeah, listen. Text him, people. Direct your comments to the defense. He's the absurd fellow who insisted on defending the orca in court in the first place. Absurd or not, I will carry out my duty to defend my client. Your duty to defend your crying aunt? Don't you mean your crying orca, Mr. Wright? If we are to proceed, we must treat the orca as we would any other defendant. Every soul, be it of man or beast, is of equal value. The question is whether that soul is painted in black or white. Take Taka, for example. He is as human as spirit as you or I. The real question is, am I in for more pain as always? Orca or not, I suppose the defendant is still the defendant, and I vow to render my verdict fairly and impartially. Now then, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement. So yes. If you would. I suppose I can hardly leave it to someone who knew nothing of the defendant. Very well, listen carefully. The orca murdered the owner of Ship-Shaped Aquarium in the aquarium's orca pool. The orca apparently toyed with the victim mercilessly as he died.
A sadistic orca? What a chilling thought. And where exactly is this defendant now?
Inside this.
A cell phone, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Time marches on, your baldness, with or without us. I borrowed this TV phone from the aquarium, which will allow us to interact with the orca.
A TV phone? Very well. The court accepts it into evidence.
Okay. Cell phone used by Ship-Shaped Aquarium staff. This model can connect to TVs and be used to connect teleconferencing. We will be able to view the defendant in question on this large monitor. Fulbright, prepare for transmission.
Ha ha ha! You've got it, Prosecutor Blackwell.
We will proceed with the defendant on telecast.
So that is the orca that stands accused, is it?
Aw, she's waving her flipper at us. Maybe she's cheering us on. Orla, wish Phoenix and Athena luck.
Oh, it's quite cute, isn't it? And this adorable creature is suspected of killing a man.
Orla's really pouring in the charm, huh? She is far from cute. She is a vile and reckless animal.
That's right. The name's Bobby Fulbright, and I'll take over the explaining from here. Now, if I could direct your attention to this diagram of the crime scene. Following the report of an orca attack, we, the police, raced on over to Ship-Shaped Aquarium. There we found a guest who says she saw the orca and the victim from the visitor's corridor. As the witness was watching, the orca suddenly went crazy and attacked the victim. The orca was the only one there, therefore no one else could have committed the crime. It's not quite finished, but I have a portion of the autopsy report here.
Instant death from a brain concussion? Wow, contusion? I don't know. There are signs of blunt force trauma all over the body.
I can't imagine the terror of being attacked underwater by such a large creature.
But attack it did. Prepare yourself for the grisly details, your baldness. The prosecution moves to introduce our witness, Fulbright.
You got it, Prosecutor Blackwell. In justice we trust. One brave lady whose fine sense of justice compels her to speak, coming right up.
Wait, what? Did he just call himself a girl? Oh, okay. I see. How dare you make me wait? Don't you know I'm a busy woman? I could have written an entire book for all the time I spend in that lobby.
Prosecutor Blackwell?
Well, I am Norma de Plume, and I'm a non-fiction writer. Am I the only one who isn't telepathic here? Looks like she can read into people's words just as well as I can read into people's hearts. Not everything needs to be a competition, Athena.
What? Norma de Plume? The great non-fiction writer, Miss Norma de Plume herself? I've read all of your works and enjoy them immensely. Your million-seller, The Great Grief of the Great Thief, is one of my favorites.
Oh, are you a fan, Your Honor? I could give you my autograph if you like.
Wait a second. I could swear you look much different in the photos in your book.
Well, I used ones from 10 years ago in my book so that the paparazzi won't harass me. The judge seems so shocked. The visual disconnect must really be doing a number on his honor's head. Can we get started, please? If I find you to be lacking as a judge, you'll see your debut in my books.
Such harsh comments. You really must be the real Norma de Plume.
Who knew Miss de Plume was so famous? Enough jabbering. Tell the court what you saw and keep it brief. I would thank you to not order me around. I am perfectly willing to tell everyone what I witnessed. It was the moment of the murder.
Very well then. Please proceed with your testimony.
Alright, here we go. The moment of the murder. I went to Ship-Shaped Aquarium to see the killer whale. As I was watching the killer whale from the visitor's corridor, it suddenly went crazy. I saw the killer whale bite the victim to death with its huge mouth and deadly teeth. Attempting to remain calm, I reported the incident to the police immediately. Wait, she said that he bit her?
That adorable offender really did all that?
What did the autopsy say? Instant death from a brain contusion. There are signs of blunt force trauma. Blunt force trauma. It's not... Yeah, no, he didn't bite her.
It must be much more vicious than it looks.
Now deliver your judgment so I may carry out the sentence. The defense would like to do some defending first, if that's all right. Must you drag this out with your tomfoolery? The defense always has the right to cross-examine the witness, you know. A fellow inmate told me just this morning, if you want something signed, all you need is the document and a witness. Let me guess, they were convicted for contract fraud, right? All we need in this case is the evidence and a witness to convict. It's as simple as that. Looks like I guessed right. Sorry, but as Miss Sykes said, the defense has every right to cross-examine it. Isn't that correct, Your Honor?
Yes, of course. You may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
I shall relish the sight of you thrashing around in vain. Alright, so yeah, he didn't bite her. There was blunt force trauma shown in the body. Objection! Sorry, I was too focused on picking the item. It would seem that you are mistaken, Mr. Plume. I beg your pardon? The autopsy report does indeed say death thought to be a result of orca attack, but the actual cause of death is contusion from head trauma, not being bitten. What? But, I'm sure the victim was bitten. I don't believe that can be true. The security footage doesn't show anything of the kind. Just as I suspected. I knew you would peek at the footage behind Fulbright's back. Well, what did you expect when you wouldn't play nice and share? But unfortunately for you, the footage you saw was only one small part. Huh? Yesterday, after I decided to take this case to trial, I re-reviewed all of the evidence. Taka, the evidence I gave to you for safekeeping. Guess that hawk is higher up on the pecking order than Fulbright in Blackwell's book.
Very well. Let's view the footage. What's this? The orca is biting the victim.
No way!
I have to say that this appears to be very damning evidence.
Oh boy. No! I can't believe Orla really bit him! And there's more. Look at this. This photograph was taken while the body was being examined.
There seems to be a strange bruise on the victim's right wrist.
I'll have the crime lab examine the bruise and calculate its relevance to the case at hand. What's important right now is evidence that points to the orca as the killer. Look at the left side of the body. See the orca's tooth marks in the victim's clothes?
Yes, they do appear to suggest that she did, in fact, bite the victim.
Oh, boy. I told you so. And then the killer whale swam up toward the surface with the victim in its mouth.
Objection!
However, in the autopsy report, the cause of death is contusion from head trauma.
Objection!
You are much too impetuous, Wright Dono. Granted, the orca biting the victim is not the cause of death. The witness was mistaken about that.
Then what explanation is there for what the witness saw?
Did I not say in the beginning, the orca toyed with the victim mercilessly?
My goodness!
After killing the victim, the defendant swam around with his dead body in her mouth. Just like any other predator toying with its prey. Jeez. Ugh. Mr. Wright, the hearts of the people in the gallery are suddenly filled with fear. Fear of Orla.
So the defendant bit the victim after she had killed him. But if that's the case, then we must still figure out how the defendant killed the victim. Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have a sound theory to give to this court?
I wouldn't be standing here if I couldn't prove whether the orca's R was black or white. But Orla is black and white. Her body, I mean. Athena, please try not to provoke Prosecutor Blackwell. This witness also observed the actual moment of the murder. Think backward, mistress. Think back to what you observed before the orca bit the victim. Ah, I see what you're driving at. So that was the true moment of the murder, was it? Now explain it in a way that even these simpletons can understand. There you go again, ordering me around. Stop that this instant. But whatever, I don't mind telling my story. I saw the killer whale before it toyed with the body as well. I saw it the moment it killed the victim by headbutting him. Orla killed the victim by headbutting him? That's right. It ran the victim over and over again. Recall that the autopsy report stated that there were bruises all over his body. Recall as well how persistent the defendant can be when she's attacking her prey. And we all just saw the killer whale headbutting the victim in the footage, don't forget. That footage backs up Mr. Plume's testimony, but there's also something very important it does not show. Now do you see what a menace this killer whale is?
Objection!
I'm sorry, but I can't allow your testimony to stand unchallenged. Looking at this footage, the orca certainly seems to be headbutting something. But you'll note that the something is not the victim. Oh, what? I want to look away, but I can't. Even if it was the victim, you couldn't have seen him from where you were, could you? What? Oh, well, I suppose not. Mr. Plume, did you actually witness the victim getting headbutted by the defendant? Ah, let's see. Oh, I remember now. As I recall, a rock in the shape of a skull was obstructing my view.
So are you admitting that you couldn't see the victim?
Yes, I suppose I am. However, immediately after the headbutting, the victim came floating up. He came up from behind the skull-shaped rock and his body was all limp. What else could I think except that the killer whale was headbutting the victim?
Objection!
But if you didn't actually see the moment of the attack itself, then it's pure conjecture.
Objection!
Must I do everything around here? How dare you speak so rudely to me? There's no need for hysterics. Clear your mind and recall how you reached your conclusion. Though you couldn't see what the orca was attacking, you didn't need to, did you? Because you knew she was behaving exactly as she had only 1 year prior. Oh! 1 year ago? That's right. Yes, that's it. That's how I knew the killer whale was headbutting the victim. I'm sorry, but could someone explain exactly what happened a year ago? If you must know, a very similar incident occurred only last year in which the defendant murdered her trainer.
What? The orca murdered her trainer, you say?
What? Is this really true? This is not looking good for us. It's all in this book.
That book? The Killer Whale. That's Mr. Plume's latest work. I was just thinking of picking that up.
A non-fiction book by Norma de Plume. It's about the case from last year. Last year, the defendant killed her trainer in the middle of a show. The orca headbutted and bit the victim. The same thing she's accused of in this case. That orca killed 2 people? That thing is a menace. Guilty, I say. I never want to go to the beach again. No, now everyone's even more convinced that Orla did it. Oh, sweet. Sorry, we were doing very well, but now everyone in the room has a bad impression of Orla. I don't want to think she did it. But it's hard to keep on believing in somebody who can't even tell me her side. Phoenix, Athena, you gotta believe in Orla. There's no way she killed anybody. You gotta save her. Please, I'm begging you. Sasha, what am I doing doubting my client like this? This is the time to be strong. I believe in Orla, and I'm ready to fight for our clients. I'll take everybody in this courtroom on if I have to. Don't you worry, Sasha. We won't give up on Orla. We'll defend her to the very end. Thank you, both of you. We are Orla's lawyers. Who else but us can save her? We can't give up on her now. For an instant there, you were afraid of the orca, weren't you, Wright, Dono? When you saw the photograph of the victim from a year ago, you turned paler than me. You saw right through me. It's obvious you have neither the guts nor the determination to defend the orca. It's true that Orla can't speak, and I don't know her thoughts. But there's a certain someone who believes in Orla with all her heart. I respect the trust she has in Orla, so I'm willing to believe in Orla, too. And what do you know about orcas? Nothing, that's what. So allow me to fill you in. Do you have any idea why orcas are also called killer whales? Because they are cunning and merciless predators that hunt and kill even true whales.
So killer whales really are killers. What terrifying creatures indeed.
I can't bear to hear any more such rubbish as trusting a killer. Can you, your baldness? No matter what you say, I will continue to believe. I don't give up that easily, you know. Dullard, you don't know when to give up, do you? Very well, I shall give you a chance to prove just how determined you are. Witness spare no quarter and lay the full truth on them. Oh, ho, ho. But of course, that is what I do after all.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what will you have the witness testify about?
I shall have her testify about what she saw and what she heard. What she heard?
Very well. Mr. Plume, please tell the court what you saw and what you heard.
What I saw and what I heard. The killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. I was calm when I saw it start to headbutt. But when the pirate hat and victim came floating up, I let out a scream.
So the orca displayed the same behavior as during the incident a year ago.
That's right. Those weren't just simple cries, it was singing. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. It kept headbutting while it sang the Swashbuckler Spectacular song. That's right. It was singing the same song it sang in the aquarium stage show back then. It was singing while it was headbutting. Oh, it was perfectly horrible.
I don't see a single obvious inconsistency in this testimony. It's clear I won't be able to take apart her statements with evidence alone.
Mr. Wright, now would be a good time for me to put up my skills to work. It's time to show what analytical psychology can really do.
You seem pretty confident. Let me guess. You noticed a contradiction between the testimony and her emotions?
You bet I did, and once we expose it, we just might be able to crack her.
No, scratch that. Make it. We'll definitely be able to. Then let's give your knowledge of analytical psychology a try.
You got it, boss. A complete analysis of Mr. Plume's heart coming right up.
Here we go. Load it up.
Okay. The killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago.
Okay.
As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. Okay, I would be surprised about that too. I was calm when I saw it start to headbutt. Wait a second. Why is she sad about that? Got it!
Mr. Plume, Orla really frightened you with her headbutting, didn't she?
Don't be absurd. I certainly was not frightened by the likes of any killer whale. It must have been something else that scared her then, boss. However, I do remember being very afraid for some reason while I was doing that. It sounds like maybe you saw something we haven't discussed yet. Take your time and try to remember what it was. What did you see?
This is practically turning into a counseling session.
I saw something. Oh, I remember now.
Okay, 50%.
Okay, good. Now, if you could please tell the court what you saw. I saw bright red blood. The killer whale's ramming caused the victim to bleed. There was a great cloud of blood. What? Yes, that's it. That's why I was so sure. That's when I knew that killer whale had killed a person for a second time.
Well, that was a very compelling statement indeed. Looking at this again, there does appear to be something that could be a cloud of blood.
So her terror was a reaction of blood, wasn't it? That would certainly explain what happened yesterday. Please take a look at this blood-stained coin. Cease and desist at once. What kind of man chose a lady blood?
She doesn't have to get so worked up.
I was badly injured during an interview once. Ever since then, I've been terrified of blood. The very sight of it dreadfully upsets my delicate sensibilities.
This is a bad turn. If Mr. Plume saw blood, then does that mean Orla really did attack the victim? It would appear that orcas are even more vicious than I am. So how does it feel to be thoroughly rammed by your own cross-examination, Wright Dono?
What do we do now, boss?
That testimony was not at all what I expected here.
Wait a minute. There's still some discord left in Mr. Plume's heart.
What? You mean there's more?
Yes, but there's no telling what it is.
Hold on, sorry guys.
It could be something even more damaging.
Is there even anything left of our case to damage? Well, whatever it is, we have to face it head on. Athena, you believe in Orla, right? If so, there's no reason for us to shy away from the truth.
Yeah, you're right.
I know we can handle the truth, whatever it is, so let's delve a little deeper.
You've got it, boss.
Alright, here we go. We've seen these already. Okay, info update.
After it started, headbutting saw that awful blood was terrified. Okay. Now for this. But when the pirate hat and victim came floating up, I let out a scream. Well, she got less sad about that. Got it. Her sad turned down a little bit. Huh? Her fear appears to lessen here at this statement. Mr. Plume, weren't you afraid when you saw the victim with blood coming out of him? My, that's a very good question. I was shaken after witnessing a murder, yes, but then the blood seemed to disappear. Disappear? And why do you suppose that was? Simple. It was because of the pirate hat. After the killer whale put the hat on, the cloud of blood disappeared. Objection! And how exactly does that work? How should I know? I'm just telling you what I remember, Blue Boy. Wait a minute. From whom was this blood that Mr. Plume saw actually coming from? Well, if it wasn't the captain, it must have been Orla. Take that! Consider this. Maybe the one who was bleeding wasn't the victim. I beg your pardon? What kind of ridiculous nonsense is that? There was no one else in that pool beside the victim. Oh, I wouldn't say there was no one else. It is an orca pool after all. What? And where is this alleged injury on the defendant? I'm not sure, but if simply wearing the pirate hat made the blood disappear, then the blood must have been coming from somewhere on Orla's head. What? The orca's head? What are you prattling on about now? Please think about it again, Mr. Plume. Think back to what you really saw. That is, the one who was bleeding was not the victim, but the killer whale. I remember now. There wasn't any blood coming from the victim after all. God, stop updating. Jeez. Alright. So there goes our noise level. We did it! And analytical psychology got us what we needed from her. That was a huge help, Athena. It was also pretty dicey for a while, though.
Well, this is a surprise. The blood the witness saw was the defendant's, not the victim's.
That is correct. And since there was no blood coming from the victim, there's only one thing we can conclude. That what Mr. Plume witnessed was not the moment of the murder, as she claims.
Objection!
I thought you were unarmed, but it turns out you were concealing a sword all along. Nevertheless, it is far too dull to cut to the bone. Meaning, I grant that what the witness saw was not the victim's blood, but it proves nothing. After all, being rammed doesn't always result in a wound that bleeds, does it? Death from internal hemorrhaging is also a possibility. He has a point there. If you wish to challenge me to a duel, you'll need a sharper blade than that, Wright, Dono. I demand evidence that proves the witness did not see the moment of the murder. There must be something. Think, Phoenix. If I'm correct, then the victim's death occurred before Mr. Plume saw it or after Mr. Plume saw it. It must have been before then. If the victim was already dead when Orla started her headbutting, then that would mean he died sometime before Miss Plume was watching her. The events Mr. Plume witnessed took place at around 10:10 a.m. I must have something that can tell us about what happened before 10:10 a.m. Well, does that security stuff go back to... The footage starts at the aquarium's 10 a.m. opening time. Take that! We've only seen the footage from 10:09 to 10:10 a.m. Which means there's still footage going further back that we need to check. Your Honor, I request that all of the security footage be played for the court.
All the footage?
Mr. Plume witnessed the cloud of blood at around 10:10 a.m., but I believe the victim was already dead by that time.
So your assertion is that the murder took place before Mr. Plume arrived?
Exactly. The security camera footage starts at 10 o'clock a.m. when the aquarium opened. And I believe there is vital evidence in the 10 minutes before. You are quite the gambling man, Wright, Dono. Are you honestly willing to risk everything on those mere 10 minutes? I've bet on slimmer chances before, but when he puts it that way... My boss is no coward, Prosecutor Blackwell, so I suggest you get ready to eat humble pie. Uh-oh. I can't back down now.
Well, if the defense is that confident in its importance, Prosecutor Blackwell, the security footage.
fool bride.
Roger, I have the rest of the security footage right here.
Very well. Please play it for the court.
Please have something for me.
This is what it looked like at 10:10 a.m. The witness can be seen here. Alright, I'll just back the footage up to the beginning now.
It appears Mr. Plume hasn't arrived yet at this point.
Now to see if I can find something from before this point in time. I don't see anything. Is that it?
Yep, that's all the footage there is.
Well, Mr. Wright, did you see what you were looking for?
We got nothing. Well, right, Dono. Those were the 10 minutes you placed your bet on. Did you see anything of significance? Did I see anything important? I'd better think about this carefully. In the footage we see, I didn't see anything in there. I'm going to be completely honest. We can see nothing of importance in that footage. Just as I thought.
Ha ha ha, you're right about that. That section was completely meaningless. It doesn't show a thing. That's why I didn't submit it as evidence.
Objection!
No, it's just the opposite.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
In this 10 minutes of footage, something important that should be there isn't there. Detective Fulbright, this footage should have been submitted as evidence.
What? Are you questioning the way I carry out my duty to justice?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself, please. What is this important thing that you say should be in the footage but isn't?
The TV phone, not the video. Calendar, walkie-talkie, fish, security footage, whistle, photo of the body, crime scene photos taken in the Orca pool room. That was two different ones. Take that! The important thing we should see in the footage is the victim himself, Jack Shipley. I don't know about you, but I didn't see him get in the pool in that footage.
Oh.
Ah, that's right.
If the victim is not shown entering the pool in this footage, it means that he must have been there by the skull rock during those 10 minutes. But no human being can hold their breath underwater for that long.
Wait a minute. Are you saying?
When the security camera started up at 10 a.m., the victim was already dead.
What?
Order of the court. If that's the case, then when was the victim murdered?
I don't know, Your Honor, but we now know it had to have been sometime before 10 a.m. Therefore, this footage can no longer be called decisive evidence against my client. But there was no one else who could have killed the victim. Not necessarily. The defense believes that the true culprit may have been human, and we have evidence to back up our theory as well. Do you now? I would be very interested in seeing this evidence. The defense's trump card, that thing we found during our investigation yesterday, a coin. I wouldn't go so far as to call it decisive, but now's the time to play it.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please submit your evidence. What evidence shows that the crime may have been committed by a human?
The blood-stained coin. Take that!
What's this? A coin?
Yes, a fake coin used in the aquarium's pirate show. We found it beside the pool. This coin is quite possibly the real murder weapon.
This tiny little coin is a murder weapon? Mr. Wright, this is another one of your bluffs.
As they say, the bolder the presentation, the less confident the solicitor. This is no bluff, and this isn't the only coin. There are 300 of these coins altogether, weighing a total of about 7 pounds. This one just happens to have blood on it. Did you have the blood analyzed to see whose it is? Not yet. But there were coins scattered all around the body, and the victim had a head wound. Taking these things into account, I believe it has to be the victim's blood. So to put it together, we have about 7 pounds of coins by the side of the pool. One of them with a blood stain on it. I think the answer is pretty clear here. Your Honor, the defense proposes that the victim was killed beside the pool.
The side of the pool? But if the murder took place there, it would be difficult to say that Orca did it.
I realize you are trying to defend your client, but that theory is preposterous. How could 300 coins possibly be made to hit someone all at once? It'd be pretty easy if they were in a bag or something of that nature.
And so where is this bag the coins were in?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, we recovered nothing of the sort from the scene. It's possible the culprit took it with them.
They took it?
The true culprit used the coins as a blunt instrument to commit murder. They then threw the body into the pool before the security camera started up. And then they left, taking the bag the coins were in with them. They got rid of the evidence that points to a human culprit to pin the blame on Orla. That was brilliant, Mr. Wright. You found a way to introduce the possibility of a human perpetrator.
Yeah, somehow.
Let's hope my luck holds out. I wonder why Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't said anything.
The possibility of a perpetrator other than the defendant has now been suggested. But if we hold this possibility to be true, then what did Mr. Plume witness?
That's right. I saw the killer whale attack the victim, just like it did a year ago, singing a song. I guess there still is that. Even with somebody else as the culprit, Orla's behavior still seems pretty bizarre. I wonder why she did she was doing the same thing she did a year ago. God, another typo. But are they really that bizarre? What do you mean? To explain the inexplicable, all we have to do is turn our thinking around. Turn our thinking around, huh? Sounds good to me. Time to give the old turn my thinking around method a try. Instead of trying to figure out why Orla did the same things she did a year ago, I should consider the results that were produced by her behavior this time around. Orla sang a song, did some headbutts, and bit the victim. If the real culprit wanted to shift the suspicion onto Orla, then they would have needed to give people a reason to think Orla did it in the first place.
Mr. Wright, as your lawyer, how do you explain your client's actions?
I believe we should think of it in this way, Your Honor. What kind of effect did Orla's actions have on the case?
Very well. Then why don't you explain it for the court? How did the defendant's actions affect the case?
They created a witness, they killed the victim, they got rid of evidence. Let's go with the created a witness. Starts from the top. Mr. Plume focused her attention on the orca pool because she heard the song. The orca's act of singing a song created a witness.
Created a witness?
Isn't it possible that fabricating a witness was the real culprit's true intention? After all, Mr. Plume witnessed two things. She saw Orla headbutt something over and over, and she saw the orca bite the victim. Those two actions of Orla's might have been the real culprit's plot to make the witness think the orca was attacking the victim.
Are you saying that the defendant was being manipulated by the true perpetrator?
Exactly, and that would explain Orla's actions perfectly.
But the defendant is an orca. Is it even possible to manipulate her?
Yes, there is a way to manipulate Orla's behavior with this. Oh yeah, that whistle that attracts her attention. That only she can hear. If I can find it. Oh god, it's back here. Take that!
Is this a whistle?
Yes, Your Honor. Trainers at the aquarium use whistles to issue commands to Orla. But in truth, anyone can do it, provided they know the right signals.
Oh, that must be how they get Orla to do tricks for their pirate shows.
The true culprit hid the body in a spot that couldn't be seen from the visitor's corridor. Then when Mr. Plume appeared, they gave Orla the commands. In other words, Orla was manipulated by the culprit to perform a series of tricks. What? And as for you, Mr. Plume, you were manipulated by the true culprit to play the part of the witness. Hi, Norma de Plume was set up? Norma de Plume, writer extraordinaire, was used? No. No! Holy crap.
Mr. Plume, please do something about your attire.
That was one wardrobe malfunction I did not want to see.
It would appear we need to shift our suspicion towards someone other than Orla. Prosecutor Blackwell, please have the bloodstained coin analyzed.
You waste your breath. I guess even Prosecutor Blackwell can't refute the possibility of a human suspect. You did it, boss. If the crime happened beside the pool, there's no way an orca could have done it. Now, if only we could find the bag the coins were in.
In light of the new discovery, it would appear that the orca couldn't have done it.
Exactly, Your Honor. If the blood on the coin proves to be that of the victim, we can unequivocally overturn Orla's accusation. Overturn the defendant's accusation? I think not. Oh God. Ah! My hair! My beautiful hair! Yesterday, a new inmate was brought into the prison. He said the moment you relax is when you're most vulnerable.
And what did this man go in for?
He is merely a sneaky thief who enjoys a spot of fishing now and again. But right donut here would be easier to hook than any fish. That hawk sure does love the judge's head.
What's this? That coin from before and some sort of bag? Ah!
A bag? I don't think I'm gonna like this. This is the coin bag the 300 coins were in. I believe you were looking for this. How did you get that? I never said we didn't find it at the crime scene. The bag had blood on it, so naturally I had it sent to the crime lab. And? Does the blood belong to the victim? It does indeed, as does the blood on the coin. I knew it! So the blood on the coin did belong to the victim. The bag was open and the coins had all spilled out, but the bag alone wasn't proof enough to say that it was used as the murder weapon. However, thanks to the defense and the coin, I am more than satisfied that it was.
Prosecutor Blackwell, are you conceding that the true culprit committed the murder with the bag of coins?
I shall concede that the victim was put into the pool after his death. However, even with the bag, it doesn't change the fact that it was the orca that killed the victim. What? How can you still suspect Orla? You said that the true culprit manipulated Orla's behavior, but Orla isn't the kind of orca that would let someone control her. If anything, Orla used the victim's behavior against him to murder him. What? But...
Are you arguing that the orca manipulated a human being?
To prove it, I have summoned another witness. Marlon Rhymes. Take the stand. Marlon Rhymes is a witness? Oh boy. Well, don't just stand there. State your name. I told you I didn't want to be a witness. I thought one witness would be quite enough to prove the defendant's guilt. But apparently Wright Donut won't be satisfied until every stone is turned. Well, son of a... Alright, fine. If I gotta talk, then let's get this over with. Mr. Rhymes doesn't seem like a willing witness. I wonder what Prosecutor Blackwell is going to have him testify about.
So could we have your name and occupation for the record, witness?
Ahoy, yo, 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 ho, ho! People of the law, time to testify. Chilling with my crew at the ship shape. Orcas, penguins, and the seascape. Cleaning and feeding, there ain't no end. But them bratty kids, tours, I shall transcend. Noob animal keeper from the house of rhymes. I'm the master keeper, Marlon with the rhymes.
Oh my, I'm afraid I couldn't understand a word you said. Is that flip-flop music young people nowadays like?
Flip-flop. So close, Your Honor. So close, yet so far.
Please proceed with your testimony, witness, without the flip-flop.
Okay, fine, but I don't want to do this, I tell you. I feel like I'm selling Sasha out. Alrighty. The man manipulating orca. At about 10:10 a.m. I was in the staff room. I heard a loud noise from the pool room. So I went to the door to look in. I couldn't see the captain of the orca, but I saw a bunch of coins scattered around. The orca knows there's a certain spot people stand to play volleyball with her. I think maybe she knocked down the stuff that was piled up there and hit the captain. So that gives us a little more info about the area around the orca pool. It also has information about the area around the orca pool on the first and second floor. The pool is about 65 feet deep. Wasn't he supposed to be meeting, or what he supposed to be like? He was supposed to be in the staff. He went to the staff area and went to go talk with what's her name? Was it DePlume? I don't know. The defendant made the stuff fall down. Overturned crates and assorted props were scattered all over the pool room floor. There is no doubt that it was the orca that caused the mess.
But could she really have done that from within the pool?
As I said, the orca is the only one that could have performed such a feat. The pool and its room were tidied the night before, including its various odds and ends. But when our rhyming Marlin checked on the scene, over 400 pounds of props had fallen. To move it all in one go would challenge even the brawny prisoner in the cell next to mine. What is he? The jail gossip? So how did 400 pounds of items fall out all at once? I'll tell you how. The orca pulled on the cloth that was underneath them, a weight that would be all but impossible for a human to move. Was child's play to an orca. During a friendly game of volleyball, the defendant made the crates fall, and the bag of coins that was among the items fell on the victim's head and killed him. The orca then toyed with the victim's body underwater, which is what Mr. Plume saw.
Objection!
But the witness only said he heard a loud noise. That doesn't automatically make it the sound of Orla making the items fall. Also, why did you only look in on the pool room anyway, Mr. Rhymes? That orca sometimes make a loud noise to summon a trainer, but I'm still a newbie, so I don't have a security card to get into the pool room yet. So even if she tries to summon somebody, there isn't much I can do about it.
I see. So the witness couldn't enter the crime scene.
Objection!
If Mr. Rhymes couldn't enter the room, there's at least one thing you can't be sure about. His statement that the orca was playing volleyball is purely speculation.
Silence!
Whether the orca was actually playing volleyball or not is not the issue. Traces of the orca's saliva were found on the cloth that was underneath the crates. The important point is that the orca is the only one that could have moved the items. I have to discredit that statement somehow. If I don't, it'd mean that Orla was the culprit, even if the victim died beside the pool. I thought he was supposed to be somewhere. Let's see what he says. About 10:10 a.m. I was in the staff room. Let's check out his calendar here. It was actually switched with Pearl's calendar around 10:10 a.m. Meet the July 20th. Meet the captain. So the only thing was to meet him at the orca pool at 7 a.m. Objection! You say you were in the staff room, but is that really true? Of course it's true. Why would I lie about a thing like that? Mr. Rhymes, have you ever seen this calendar before? Hey, that's... I see you recognize it. Yeah, that's the rifle calendar. It's a big hit at the Ship-Shape Aquarium gift shop. Thank you for shopping at Ship-Shape.
Mr. Rhymes, please refrain from scattering Fisher on the witness stand.
Not to worry, your baldness. Taka will have them cleaned up in no time. I guess that bird comes in handy now and then.
Alright, Mr. Wright, we have all seen your cute souvenir. Now, if you wouldn't mind...
No, Your Honor. This isn't my calendar. It was originally the witness's, but it came into the possession of a certain young lady. What? Mr. Rhymes and this young lady first met each other in the food prep room. After a mishap, their calendars got switched around. They ran into each other at about 10:10 a.m. in the food prep room, so clearly the witness was not in the staff room. In other words, there's no way he could have heard the noise in the pool room upstairs. Ah! What's this? This is the first I'm hearing about any calendar. That's because Mr. Rhymes and Pearls were keeping it a secret. You lied to me? This transgression will not go unpunished. Ah!
So, Mr. Rhymes, you didn't hear the noise of the equipment falling after all, did you?
Okay, I admit it. I didn't hear the noise in the orca pool room myself, but somebody told me about it. Who told you about it? It was, unless you tell the truth, Mr. Rhymes, I can't save Orla, and I'm sure you know how sad that would make Miss Buckler. I heard about it. From Sasha. What? From Miss Buckler? But that doesn't make sense. What is going on here? Now it's the trainer's own words that drive the orca into a corner. How do you like being bitten by your own client, Wright, Dono? I certainly didn't see this coming. What perfect timing. There was something I wanted to ask Miss Buckler about the orca. The prosecution calls the trainer Miss Sasha Buckler to the stand.
Yes, I suppose it would be a good idea to hear what the orca's trainer has to say.
I don't know what Sasha is going to say, but I'll just have to meet it head on, whatever it is.
We will take a 20-minute recess while the witness is summoned.
Alright, and that's going to do it for this part. Man, oh man. Orla's own trainer being called to the stand. This is definitely going to be interesting, so... Thanks for watching, everybody. Part number 2 of our playthrough of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies DLC case. And I will see you guys in my next video, coming soon. Objection!